On the direct path of totality 2017, welcome to Smoky Goodness 2016. What? Today featuring a soy Sriracha marinated bison rib eye, or a couple of them. And there are a lot more ingredients than soy sauce and Sriracha. We'll get into that in just a second. But I don't want to make this title, you know, where it takes 10 minutes to pronounce it. So, soy Sriracha marinated bison rib eyes. And let's meet some of the players right now. Stick around. Taking a look at a few of the stars of our show, we start off with, hey, look at that. That's a 12-ounce bison rib eye. Look at the marbling in that. Amazing. And next we have some pre-minced garlic in a tube. Don't knock it till you try it. This is a huge time saver. Got some ground mustard, sesame oil, soy sauce, a little bit of honey, and a local beer, a local craft beer from the Zipline Brewing Company. This is Copper Alt, really good stuff. And of course, Sriracha. How about some pineapple juice? Grated ginger, also in a tube. Don't knock it till you try it. It's a good time saver. And here's our other 12-ounce bison ribeye. Look at the marbling in that. All right, let's get this together. Right here I'm using half a cup of soy sauce, and to that we're going to add about half a cup of the Copper Alt from Zipline Brewing. I thought about using a dark beer, maybe a porter, but I just didn't have any on hand. Next, this is about a quarter cup of honey, maybe a little less, followed by 1/4 cup of pineapple juice. And here we go with the squeezable minced garlic. I'm going for the equivalent of 10 garlic cloves minced. Same thing over here. We've got 2 tablespoons, or the equivalent of 2 tablespoons of grated ginger. I've got about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half of Sriracha, the rooster, represented. And here's a little over a tablespoon of mustard. This is ground mustard. And here's about a teaspoon of sesame oil. We're going to throw everything in a Ziploc bag and let it kind of hang out for about 2 hours. I think it's time to rock and roll. Okay, we've got kind of an interesting configuration going on here. I have the sear grates. I have 1/2 of the sear grate over the coals, direct heat. I've got 1/2 of the sear grate inverted just at the edge of the direct heat and migrating into the indirect side. Under all that, I have the grill EQ there to help ensure that I get 2 distinct zones. So let's get going. All right, bison ribeye number 1 on the sear grate. Listen to that sizzle. Sorry about the wind if it's affecting my lav mic. Bison ribeye number 2 on the sear grate. And I'm not done yet. Beef ribeye number 1 for my wife, who just doesn't like bison for some reason. All right, as always, where it lands is where it stands. We're gonna go 2 minutes, give them a turn. 2 more minutes, give them a flip. 2 more minutes, give them a turn. And 2 more minutes, move them over to the indirect side. I've got a special kind of a deal going on for the indirect side. You're gonna love this. 2 minutes has passed. Can you believe it? 2 minutes already. We're just gonna give these a 90-degree turn. Even this one. That's not bison, but at least we can make it look pretty, right? This one was not wanting to let go, which probably indicates that it wasn't quite 2 minutes, but that's okay. We'll be back in 2 minutes. 2 more minutes have passed. I think I forgot to mention that I did apply some Sang stir-fry oil to that grate. Look at that. Woohoo! Sang stir-fry oil. Another layer of flavor for these ribeyes. All right, same thing over here. 2 and 2. I'm gonna move him over a little bit. We'll be back. 2 more minutes. Shut up, dog. I got a flame going here. I'm actually gonna move this guy over a little bit because I got a big old heaping mean ass flame, and we have had some strong winds here all week. Gotta be really, really careful right now. But check this out. Got a little bit more Sang stir-fry oil. I'm gonna put it on the indirect side of the grill here and hope we don't burn the house down or the neighborhood. No, it's indirect, so it'll be fine. And then, you remember this stuff? This was a boo-boo I made about a week, maybe a week and a half ago. I forgot to add to the meatloaf that we were making. I saved it in the fridge and I minced it very finely. Very finely. Man, this wind sucks. Almost it's almost a mince. I'm just gonna dump that all over the indirect side here because we're gonna finish the steaks off over here. Oh man, this is gonna rock and roll. If, like I said, I don't burn the house down in the neighborhood. I'm gonna finish these on top of these minced onions, minced peppers, just like that. I may actually move this back a little bit, just to be on the safe side. The thing is screaming hot already, so we're good to go with that. It's another layer of flavor, several more layers of flavor. Let that go until they reach medium rare. They're going to be really good. I took my glasses off. It's getting dark. The sun is slipping behind the horizon. But stick around. We're going to be eating soon. Still pretty close to the low side of medium. I just want to give these a flip. Those onions are starting to caramelize down there. Oh God, if you could smell this. You'd be wondering why it took you so long to get out here. Spread those out a little bit. Oh yeah. The Grillicue is definitely doing its job, holding the heat down a little bit. I didn't want to burn the onions or anything here. And using the Grillicue, I'm not burning anything. So we're just going to let these hang out until they reach perfect medium rare. That's why I didn't sear them for very long. Just what was it, 4 minutes per side. I think it's time to give these steaks another flip. So another flip is what we'll give them. Oh man. If this doesn't prompt somebody to invent smell-o-vision finally, look how tender that steak is, man. This doesn't prompt somebody to invent smell-o-vision very soon, then something is really, really wrong with the world. They were just about there too. I'll give these a couple more minutes, and like kings we'll be eating, as Yoda would say. After only a couple more painful minutes, painful in that this smells so good. Oh man, I cannot wait. They look to be done to me. Like I mentioned, man, the aroma out here, can't describe it. And the marbling on these bison rib eyes is nothing short of a miracle. An absolute miracle. How'd they do that? I know these bison rib eyes and these bison are basically free range. They eat grass most of their lives, but I do believe that they're finished on grain, just right before the harvesting. By the way, these are Nebraska Bison, Bison Rib Eyes, just so you know. Let's eat. But how does it taste there, Mr. Smoky Goodness guy? Let's find out. Man, sure does smell good. I'll tell you what, this marbling is amazing. Adding all kinds of flavor. I can taste everything too. I can taste the sriracha, of course. I can taste the caramelized onions and peppers. I can taste the ginger, the garlic, the beer, everything. Layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of flavor. Give this a try. But do it on a day that's not so windy, okay?